Hello my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If we're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be diving into the energy of this year's Lion's Gate portal. This is such a significant time energetically wise for a few reasons. And every time that this alignment and this arrangement happens, and I'll break that down for you further before we dive into the channeled messages for this moment, this time. This one's so unique because we have so many planets that are currently retrograde, and it is so perfectly aligned with this Aquarius full moon that has been shattering many of our lives, the foundation of our lives that doesn't serve us, and helping to immediately align us into a new approach to what is the most important and valuable bones foundation for the life that we're going to be living moving forward. Now let me go ahead and dive into the energy of the Lion's Gate portal and what it is that you can expect while I'm shuffling the cards. If you hear any noise in the background, there's movement here. So the first things first is Lion's Gate, right? So connecting to the energy of the lion is because of the sun is currently in the sign of Leo. Leo rules the energy of the lion, and Sirius is a star that aligns perfectly with the earth and the sun, that ends up creating almost like an energetic gate that opens, that helps us to evolve spiritually really, really quick, helps us to manifest, set intention, and for many of us to awaken. Now, at the time of this all happening, we also have the Aquarius full moon, and Aquarius energy is connecting us immediately again to shattering our perception of ourselves, of the world, of our egos, of what is important to us, what's valuable to us, so that we are not limited because of our perspective, right? So think about the times where you've met someone, or maybe you can relate to this within yourself, that there's like a limited belief, someone who believes that you can only, that abundance is something that is evil, money is evil. And that is not necessarily the case. It's the intention behind the person who is using that money that is evil, not the money itself. Money or resources help us to provide sustenance for ourselves. And if there is a lack, it's usually because we could trace it back to selfishness and greed first, because there are people who are greedy, or they are harboring out of fear of lack because they've experienced it before in their life. So the actual abundance itself is not evil. It's this, the mentality. So think about all the different ways that we may be approaching and moving and flowing through our lives that is disconnected from a higher vibration, that is disconnected from the truth of ourselves. These are things that are being stripped away. Now, because there's so many planets that are currently retrograde right now, Pluto, Uranus, Mercury, Neptune, who am I missing? Let me know down in the comments who I'm missing. I've been talking about astrology all nonstop, so and I've got mom brain. But there's so many planets that are currently retrograde right now that are literally pulling away from us the things that don't serve us. It can look like relationships, it can look like career, it can look like patterns. It can be so drastic and devastating, or so subtle, but either way, it's a shift that we can't necessarily go back and fix, because most of us had time and time to assess and to align and choose to move differently, or some things are just fated and completely unavoidable. And chances are you've seen that, especially if you are, ooh, here comes the recycling. Especially if you're part of BehatiLove Notes, we've been seeing so much of the World card and the Wheel of Fortune showing up. Just a second. Yeah. So we've been seeing so much faded energies, things that just, we're almost, I don't want to say victims, but we're almost a part of, we're all kind of like riding the same wave. Now, when the Lion's Gate happens, right, this spiritual sun, like when Sirius the star connects with our star that is the center of our little world here, like our solar system, this is a chance for us to open ourselves, open our heart specifically, because the lion, the energy of the lion, the energy of Leo connects us immediately to the heart chakra. The heart is the center of the body where all things kind of pulse and give energy, electricity from. We open our hearts to this awareness shift. This is where we're meant to boldly, courageously, again, this is Leo energy, sacrifice or give up as an offering, you know, give our will, our I don't say desires, but our ambitions, our force, our drive, we hand those things over to the universe, and we ask the angels, the guides, the ancestors, the Palladians, whoever it is that you're connecting with, in order to move you immediately into this higher consciousness, into this divine frequency, into this wisdom, so that you are able to deeply understand and come into one union with what is energetically happening. So when this happens, you're going to connect immediately into abundance, into transformation, into rooting yourself into something that is fertile, and that the universe and all of these energies that they are aligning with and that they're focusing on growing, versus that which is getting pulled away and restructured. For many of you guys, this is going to look like rebirth. For many of you guys, it's going to look like renewal. For some of you guys, it's going to be a huge call into, wow, this is who I am. This is what is meant for me. This is what is destined. And now this is what I desire. So, and as I say this, I'm watching butterflies play outside of my window. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to adjust the camera. You know, taking Mercury retrograde's guidance to revisit and renew and kind of redo my old ways of doing things, so that you guys can see the birds coming in and visiting and the butterflies. It's been pretty awesome. So anyway, some ways to work with the Lion's Gate energy is obviously going right back to the heart, connect to the heart, opening your heart to allow your priorities, your focus, healing to happen, you know, those things to kind of shift. Another way is to call in the divine, call in your ancestors, call in your guides, and ask them, listen, I've been telling you what I want, but what do you want? What do you see? What is your will? Another way is for you to focus on rest. I know that so many of us, we are moving from a space of root chakra realness, and it's survival mode, to say the least. I've been seeing that not even in people who come to me for astrology, but my neighbors, my friends, my family, not even bringing astrology into it, but they're just like, Jess, this is what happened. It's a shock to my system. And of course, you guys know me, BFF Jess, always showing up. Oh, 818 on the clock just now. I always try to guide them and just say, like, this is an opportunity. I know that you're shocked right now. I know that you're scared. I know that you're spooked. I know that you didn't see this coming. I know that it's a lot, but this is an opportunity to simplify and to reprioritize. And if you are able to follow in the footsteps of where these currents are guiding us to, you're going to feel yourself floating there instead of being dragged there. Lift your feet up and allow yourself to go, because there is something for you to receive. Shameless self-plug, but that was one of the reasons why the Divine Feminine Immersion was so important for me to start and share it now with you guys, because there's so much energy now about healing the Divine Feminine and allowing ourselves to rest and be reciprocated and protected during this very, very powerful time where Divine Feminine is rising up and is taking over, as she should. So that's something to also practice. Another thing here is clearing out your energy is so important. I'm going to start shuffling the cards so we can dive into this reading as deep as we can. Clearing out your energy is so important. One of my favorite ways to do that is sound bowl healing, crystal bowls, sound baths. Ocean water is huge for me as well. And many of the people that I find myself connecting with recently, recycling is back. That in itself is a whole message, turning something that was once into something that will be. Spiritual baths as well. Angels and guides from the highest lights, I thank you so much for this time that is that we have together. This Lion's Gate portal is so powerful. just like someone activating and calling in the messages and changing the frequency using sound bowls, crystal bowls. I ask that you do the same thing for us now in this moment, to provide healing, to provide awareness, to provide perspective shifts, to provide understanding, and to provide blessings to everyone who this video reaches. Not just blessings now, but infinitely to come as we tap into the energy of the number 8. Thank you so much for the blessings that you've always provided. Protect us, guide us, shield us, and encourage us to use our intuition, strengthen our intuition, and strengthen our discernment. First things first, what's so interesting, 7 of Swords reversed here, 7 of Wands reversed here, and the Star card reversed. Very, very interesting, very, very telling, the energy of 7, but wild that the number 7 twice is reversed and the Star card is reversed. So at the center of the heart of this reading in Lionsgate, there's many things that feel like it seems like they're going to be revisited or returned to you tenfold. I feel like this is something that was taken away from you, or something that you feel like you should have received right now. It could be a blessing, like some type of something that was a blessing to you, but someone may have stolen it. Something, it could be your faith, it could be your hope. For someone here, when it comes to, you'll relate to this immediately when it comes to relationships. If you once believed in like true love or marriage or union or connection, how other people move, their actions, the steps that they took, stole your ability to have faith in the future when it comes to love. 7 of Swords is definitely something being stolen and taken away. 7 of Wands is being caught off guard, and the Star card is losing hope. So I use that example of love as just that, an example. What is this showing to you right now that is coming forward? For someone, it was a waste of your time. For someone, it's a waste of your resources. For someone, it's the abuse of your energy. That's what they're taking away, is your vitality, your willingness to participate, your willingness to show up, your willingness to share, because you're realizing, listen, you were using and abusing my energy, and for that reason, it can go on no longer. So there's something here that you are feeling yourself drifting away from. And actively probably pulling yourself away from it. And pulling is the next energy here that is I'm seeing, because the next string of cards we have here, the Lovers card reversed. Interested in seeing the others. We have King of Pentacles reversed and the Temperance card. Yeah, Temperance card reversed. There's something here off balance. There's something here that the foundation is cracked very, very deeply. And that's where, if there's like something that acts as an earthquake, the ground has been split and gets pulled apart, pulled away. It's whatever this is here that is kind of rocked your faith, or rocked your excitement, your enthusiasm, your hope for something, connecting into the energy of the Star card. This feels, groundbreaking is not the right word. It really shifts your, it can really put you in a pit where you just don't trust anymore. And like, why would you? You know, I get it. And then looking even further, you do have the 3 of Swords reverse here, and the World card. See, I told you the World card has been showing up a lot for those that are subscribed to BehatiLove Notes. There's so much here that is connected to fate. 4 of Wands, yeah. 4 of Wands is the foundation, the earth, the ground, and that's what it is that I'm seeing that's being split and pulled apart. Even though the 4 of Wands typically shows up with marriage, family, connection, structure, stability, celebration, what I really see this is the ground that you're standing underneath, just regardless. And Uranus has been doing that, transiting through Taurus energy. I've been talking about that a lot. 3 of Swords reverse in the World card. It's almost as if someone has surrendered and accepted, you know, the fate of something or the circumstances of something, or it has completely lived its full cycle, its full life, right? There's no more that you see getting extracted from this, or being pulled out of this, or can grow from this. It just is what it is. And there's a part of you that's almost surrendered to it. So what I like is that it does seem like you're practicing divine feminine energy enough where you are receptive. But the interesting thing is, like, it's almost like you haven't willingly given up your it's not like you willingly are like, hey, I'm offering and I'm surrendering. It's more like the universe is forcing me to surrender. And sometimes circumstances just simply are that way. This is actually so interesting because it seems like this is the Ace of Cups here. There's going to be a pouring back into you in order to restore your faith. For someone here, you may actually feel like you've received many tremendous blessings in the past and life was very active, very moving. A lot of planning for so many of you guys. I know that sometimes we don't look at that with the Three of Swords here, but the Three of Swords energy in general is very active mentally. So it's just like one thing after another. Energy is really like static, moving really quickly. And I just feel like, you know, when energy is moving so fast for so long and then all of a sudden it clears out and then you're just like, okay, now what? This is that now what space where you're just like, okay, I need to kind of rebuild, restructure, and pour back into myself in a way that gives me new fulfillment and new meaning because I spent so much of my time focusing on these things, ... Yeah, beautiful. We have the Hermit card here, the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles here, and the King of Wands. It's interesting because I do actually feel like these cards need to be flipped upright. I wasn't even paying attention if they were reversed or upright, but it doesn't matter because I do get a strong sense, a strong feeling here that these energies need to be read in their fullness. The Hermit card is so interesting, so intriguing how it shows up because to me, this is actually giving them the energy of hope emerging. And I don't know what flower this is. I do know that I'm working with the Flower Tarot. I'll link it down below. But it's interesting that the Hermit card is showing up in the winter and these flowers are blooming, which shows not only rareness, but it shows seasonal energies and how they pop up when the time is right. I get a strong sense here, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the Hermit card, that something is really going to be clicking into place. And I feel like this is going to be a deep aha moment, a deep aha awareness. To me, how it's showing up is not that your past experiences are coming in as a lesson, but it just feels like you are cleaning things up in your life now, or the next step for you is you're cleaning things up in your life right now. And like, it's like a sense of maturity. Like you're able to check things off the box, the list of things that are important to you that you're prioritizing. And for some reason, that literally just kind of helps to set the ball into motion and keep you organized and on top of things. Someone here, your priorities have really shifted and you're just like, okay, check, check, check. I have a list, and you're just getting it done. One thing after. You're very empowered. You feel like you're in control. You feel like you're stabilized. Your finances, your resources, your energy, your enthusiasm, your excitement, your boundaries, all of these things are enforced. And I'm hearing the word sabotage. So if anything was to once in the past derail you or set you back, it doesn't have that same power now in these steps that you're called to take now moving forward. Interesting, because the King of Cups shows up, and the High Priestess reversed, and then the King of Swords. Yeah. This is talking about big planning. Wow. Divine, someone here is going to be really rooting themselves, which is so interesting because it's the opposite. Like, it's like upside down. They're going to be, instead of rooting themselves and grounding themselves, they're going to be connecting really deeply to the divine energy through their intuition, through ritual, through practices. Their routines, their spiritual practices are going to be priority number one. From that place, literally all blessings tend to flow. The High Priestess, and also you are going to be very protective of your energy, your blessings, and your abundance as it comes in. Not because you're being stingy, but because you are, again, it's almost like you've learned not to pour into cups that deplete you, to protect this blessing. And for that reason, you're going to start seeing some growth. You know when, okay, how Spirit is showing this to me, and then we got to zip out. How Spirit is showing this to me is, you know, when a garden, you keep pulling from this garden and keep tending to things, and then the seeds are planted there, but every time you're just cleaning and clearing and clearing, and it's like you never see the growth, and then you walk away. You go on vacation and you come back after a month and you're like, my garden's going to be dead for sure. And you come back and it's thriving. It just needed you to stop touching it. This is what it is that I'm getting here. Lionsgate portal's energy right now, big time about rest, receiving. Okay, definitely with King of Cups, Ace of Cups reverse, and the Lover's card reverse, and Temperance. It's really big about being receptive, receiving, and giving things their space to kind of naturally fall into place. I feel like you've done a lot of the work. Now it just seems like you need to allow things to grow all on their own. Set the intention with the King of Swords here. Sometimes this energy is overlooked because it's so mental, but really what it is it knows what it wants, it declares it, and then takes a step back, the Hermit card, to allow that thing to grow. It will. If it's meant to, it will. It will. You don't need to keep thinking about it, touching it, provoking it, because if it's meant to, it will take off all on its own, and you will be grateful how effortless. It's like if you live in a tropical climate and you keep trying to plant cactus there, and you're like, wow, they say that cacti are supposed to be grown so easily because it's so minimal requirements, but you live in a tropical area where it's lush and raining. So then you're like, okay, instead of me fighting this natural state, I'm going to pull up the cactus and put down plants that don't grow in the desert, because my environment is actually very lush and ripe with things that a quote-unquote high maintenance plant would naturally thrive in. And then you just walk away, and then you come back and it just takes off. Why? Because it's aligned. Why? Because that's its environment. You don't need to fight and force. Apply that same message to every aspect in your life. Oop, yep, the Weasel and Pine. We have introspection, connecting even further to the energy of the Hermit. This is about doing your research on yourself, doing your research, talking to the angels and the guides. It's like, what is my needs now? What do I need to thrive? And then calling those things in. Some of you guys aren't asking for enough. You have the Sheep card next here, connected to devotion. Don't devote yourself so much that your loyalty stops your blessings from coming through. Disconnect as needed. Even the sheep needs to get sheared. That means some things need to get pulled off of you. Yep, the Hawk and the Thistle, graceful persistence. This is energy that's going to move forward, and blessings are things that you need to look for just because you decided to move forward and you're open to receiving them. So guys, thank you so much for allowing me to tap in with your energy. If you want to go deeper with more channeled readings, Intuition 1111 on the clock, definitely check out BehatiLove Notes. It's where I shuffle and pull for that small collective every other day, including astrology readings for them. And the Sacral Ritual anointing boxes are getting prepared for the month of September. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited. It's my monthly subscription box where I channel and connect with angels and the guides and ancestors in order to pull the herbs, the essential oils that support the next moon that's coming up. In this case, it's the Aquarius new moon. At the time of the Lionsgate portal, we're going to be diving into that. Wait till you see the oil that I'm creating for those ritual boxes. You guys are going to be the ones to receive them. Now is the time to subscribe to the anointing boxes. If not, you won't be able to have access to this oil, and it is one of a kind. You can use it at your altar, use it to anoint your crystals, anoint yourself. And every month is going to be different, so different, each oil. So I'm sending you guys all of my love. Thank you so much for allowing me to shuffle and connect with your energy, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.